Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? This is Jez7780 with another What Grinds My Gears. I'm back. It's been a little bit of time. Since I've done this. And, I told you guys I'll be back with some stuff. And the Grinds board's back. Arnold's here.
Who is your daddy?
He's here. Maybe even Phil Ness will show up. I don't know. But a lot of stuff's happened in the last couple of weeks. And I spelled Android wrong. What's up, Sam Ash? How you doing, man? So, I was just grabbing some bunch of articles and stuff. There's been so much stuff going on. And I want to kind of make this quick. But, these things sometimes don't be quick. And I want to fix that. I'll fix that spelling thing there. But really, all the stuff going on with the cloud. What's up, Lincoln? How you doing, man? Styling, how you doing? Socrates. Yes. Jamaya, yo, man, what's up? So, yeah, the Coon, how you doing, man? I know, good to see all you guys. I know I've been around, doing some podcasts here and there, but, I haven't gone back to my own show and stuff like that. So, definitely, I'm glad you guys are coming out here. And we're going to talk cloud. I've been always talking about this cloud and the streaming and just where it's going. People were playing God of War on PC and how Xbox has games on PC, and just really just want to discuss, they are similar yet they're totally different. And the biggest thing that I want to just talk about is the news, so and the news that just came out today too. So what's going on with PlayStation Now? Now I subscribe to PlayStation Now. I have it for $60 for a year. I have that. And basically, I haven't had a lot of PlayStation games. So I have tried the streaming stuff. It's not that great. I liked it when they allowed for downloads last year of PlayStation 4 games. That basically gives me another selection of games that, probably I wouldn't have bought. And I get to play them. My son loves playing them and things like that. So it's pretty cool in that respect. He played the Lego games. They get about 10 games a month. So you can download them natively, PlayStation 4 games. I thought that was a great value for what it was. And that was pretty much taken upon. The reason why is because Xbox Game Pass was a native download game. So Sony competed with that and said, hey, you know what? All PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 2 games, we'll have those natively downloaded because it was a full streaming service. Excuse me. So that's one step, right? Then what happened last week was that PlayStation Now, I think it was last week ago, the PlayStation Now dropped the price because it was $20 a month for about 700 to 800 games. PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 2 games. They dropped the price, slashed it in half. $10 a month or $60 for a year. Now it's the official price for it. And that's giving you over about 300 games of PlayStation 4 to download, about 20 so games of PlayStation 2 games to download natively to your PlayStation 4, and streaming. What's up, Eddie? How you doing, man? And Daniel B, what's up? So they basically dropped the price to be competitive with the streaming that's coming from Google Stadia that we know is coming in the next month or so, and xCloud, which when that comes, and also currently with Game Pass. In addition to dropping that price, they added 3 or 4 games of their high caliber tier, which is God of War, Uncharted, Infamous Second Son. That was the first game that was almost back in the launch period. And GTA 5, which is the only service that allows GTA 5 for now. They call these their marquee games. So basically, these marquee games they will be adding, they're only in there for 3 months. And they're really strict. They really basically tell you that. When you download the game or when you go to stream the game, it says this is here for 90 days. It's counting down the days that it's there. And there's even a disclaimer at the bottom saying this is here only for this amount of time. They're being very specific on these games when they're leaving. That is a sign that probably, I think this allows PlayStation Now to be more aggressive with what they put in there. Now, they said that they're going to put their evergreen titles in there, which is the ones that we've been getting all the time, which is 5 to 8 games that kind of stay in there forever. They don't take them out as much as xCloud does. Game Pass. But Game Pass does have newer games sometimes in it, like Devil May Cry they got Metro Exodus, they had the Metro game. So basically, Microsoft has been putting higher games. I'm not going to talk about that first party yet. So I think the marquee games allow Sony to offer a more aggressive approach to PlayStation now, and the fact they could put probably newer games in there, and possibly devs are probably more willing to put their games in there because it's only going to be there for 3 months. So Sony, when I looked at it, everybody's like, oh, look, they're doing exactly what Xbox is doing. Oh, I could play my games on PC now. It's like, no, they're not doing the same thing. Okay? They're not. Stop using this to justify Microsoft's doing something right. Hey, what's up, Meds? How you doing, man? That's the thing. Like, don't say, and I saw so many people comparing like what PlayStation was doing, saying, oh, that's just justifying. Look, they put their exclusives in there. Microsoft is doing something totally different than what Xbox is doing, or what PlayStation's doing with their services. Okay? They're putting games in there for over a year and a half. They're putting them in there, marquee time 3 months. Microsoft is building games for the service to launch day one. All right? And that's where some of my concern with Game Pass, how Microsoft just committed its entirety first-party lineup to a service-based structure that they're launching their games in there, which means that their games might reflect similar things like as a phone model, where it's going to have this kind of long drawn out monetization, or be a shorter game because they're not going to put a game like God of War day one in Game Pass and sit back. Now, there have been some exceptions, such as Gears 5, which I believe is the biggest game ever and is the biggest value in Game Pass right now of playing that game. If they could keep doing that, that will ease my fears, and if they can do that. But knowing on the horizon we're going to have Bleeding Edge, a little game like Ori, and also what Bob Booty said, where he's having these studios, the reason why they bought them is to make smaller games like Hellblade. Yes, Hellblade was an amazing looking game, a great story, great production, but it was a $30 game. It was not a $60, 15 to 20 hour open world campaign. Like, it wasn't this big budget game, but it looked big budget, and I think that's the kind of thing that they're trying to go for. But they're not going to spend billions and billions of dollars in this monsters game and throw it into a Game Pass service. They have done it, though, with Gears, so maybe they'll do it again. I want to see them do this with some new IPs and see if that's what they're going to do. But if they stop making these little bite-sized Game Pass fighter games and put them into Game Pass, then we're going to see what a subscription model means. And I did a video before explaining about them, and this is kind of on point with that one, where Sony treats its games more of like a movie model. You put them in the big movie theater, monetize it there, then put it to DVD, then you put it to streaming. This is just a path of it, just to reach the different audiences. Basically, Microsoft is going right to DVD, right to streaming. So you look at the Avengers versus the Defenders, there's your thing. The Defenders in Netflix, the Avengers in the movie theater. Look at the difference in the production. AAA, AA, all those A's.
No deal.
No deal. We don't want all little A's. There's got to be balance, and that's my biggest point. So Sony, in this whole thing, when people are trying to justify that Microsoft is doing this, my thing is like, this is Sony being aggressive against Microsoft. This is putting the foot on the throat of Microsoft. Like, they're basically just going like, all right, we challenge you. We're going to be competitive. And basically took 800 games and gave it for $60 a year. You know? And I'm sure the Defenders, I'm not saying, and again, it doesn't mean that the Defenders or something is bad in Netflix. It's just the level of production, like what you're getting for, you can't compare the Avengers and that kind of production and stuff compared to a Netflix TV show. Like, there's obviously a level there. And it's not that one's bad or one's good. It's just that there's a difference. And when one's committing to subscriptions and one's committing to $60 titles, that's the difference. You can't have, hey, you could get these movies for like $1, or you could buy them for $60. Nobody's gonna buy it for $60. You know? Everybody's gonna go for the $1 one. But if you're putting something on the shelf and the only way to get it is that price on the shelf is $60, you better make sure that game has value of $60. Now, there's games out there that don't have that value, obviously, right? So, I looked at it as like Sony's being competitive with Xbox. Now, Game Pass needs to step it up, either with game quality or either drop the price. Because if you look at Game Pass by itself, what's up, Def? How you doing, man? Game Pass by itself is $10 a month. But then you need Xbox Live to play. Sea of Thieves is dead. If you just sign up for Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass, Sea of Thieves, you can't play it. Because you need to be online. So you need Xbox Live. So you need to need $15 a month to do it. People say, oh, I'm already signed up for Xbox Live. Okay. But the reality is if you just go and buying this, you are going to pay $5 for Xbox Live to play Gears multiplayer, to play Sea of Thieves, play PUBG, if it's still in there. I think it's still in there. So $15 a month. Exactly. Sam, exactly. $15 a month. Now, if you want to do it on PlayStation, everything on PlayStation now, you don't need PlayStation Plus. You could just sign up for $10 a month, $60 a year. $10 a month, $60 a year. And you could play all those games in there, multiplayer and all. You know, they got all those and they got some multiplayer games in there. And maybe not tons from their first party, but they have a multiplayer games in there, like GTA 5, for example. You could go play that without PlayStation Plus. All those games in that service do not require PlayStation Plus. But Microsoft still requires the Xbox Live for their games. And they primarily make multiplayer games. Alright? So, like I said, Sea of Thieves is an online-only game. If you have just base Game Pass for $10 a month and no Xbox Live, you got to pay for Xbox Live. Now, $15 for Ultimate. Oh, I get Ultimate because that's when you pay $15, you're getting Ultimate. Now, if you don't have a PC, I don't know what Ultimate does for you. You got Xbox Game Pass, you got online. You're paying for PC games that you're never going to play unless you have a PC that's capable of running them. Likewise, if you're on PC and you pay $15 a month, you're paying for Xbox Live and games for a console that you don't have. So the best world that a person lives in for Xbox Ultimate is to have a gaming PC and an Xbox. Because you're not going to pay $15 a month as a PC gamer to pay for Xbox Live and a console. No. You're going to pay $10. I think it's $10 a month. I got to check what it is. I think it's $5 to $10 a month. But the difference is that Xbox Live just kind of sticks around. That little $5 a month. And it sticks in there. And it just kind of pokes its ugly head when you're dealing with that service. When Sony just makes it simple. You pay everything on that. And it's on PlayStation. And yes, you can play it on a computer. That's fine. Streaming. Not native. Game Pass you can play natively, which is totally different. People just don't seem to understand that. When you have a game that plays natively on PC, the game is being developed for that platform. God of War is not developed for PC. You are streaming it from a PlayStation and you're playing a video. Okay? They're two different beasts. Sony is not going into PC development. Sony is not taking their first party. It's up Silverback. So they're not taking that first party and going to and making it PC developed. Oh, you got to make Santa Monica. You got to make sure this game works on PC. No, make it work sure it works on the console, and we'll make those guys play a video with a controller on PC. That's the difference. Xbox is developing for PC. Nonetheless, they're developing it for PC and not just their ecosystem. I remember when people went bonkers. People went bonkers. You know?
Hello, cutie pie. One of us is in deep trouble.
Bonkers. When I was like, they're putting their games on PC. Everybody's like, oh no, it's the Xbox. It's the Microsoft store. We're good. It's still the same ecosystem. The Xbox store, UWP is secure. It's all the same thing. And then this year they go, oh, we're putting them on Steam now. So they're paying royalties to Steam to put it on. So it's not the same ecosystem anymore. Okay? Microsoft is actively developing for PC. Sony's not. So when you can play these Sony games like God of War a year and a half later, streaming over 720p with a PlayStation controller on a video stream, if that's how you want to play, that's how you want to play. But again, you can play like that for 3 months. What they're trying to do is reach out to an audience to lure them in to a PlayStation. yo, you hear about God of War PC, guys. Try it out, see how you like, and now go spend $200 and go get a PlayStation. It's a way of them reaching out to bring them in, where Microsoft is taking their stuff and reaching out with no intent of bringing them onto an Xbox. Sony still has that console as the core element of its success. They want to use streaming to reach out and bring people in and grow that core and grow that platform. Whereas Microsoft is reaching out because the console is not having success. They need to reach out and go to where the gamers are for them, and that's on Steam. Obviously, it went to Steam because it wasn't on the Windows 10 store. And they're reaching out. And they're like, we're going to come to you. Sony's like, we'll bring it to you, give you a little taste, and if you want to come back. Jemiah says, if you don't have a PlayStation 4 by now, you don't want one. Exactly. So that's why, hey, we'll reach you out today. But you want to know what? Maybe it entices them. If they start putting some games out there that, maybe PC guys haven't played yet, but maybe they're not interested in it. And that's always been my take. Exactly. Jemiah, that's my other take, is that I really don't think the PC audience really desires some of these games. Like I think that I think a PC gamer, a console gamer, even a mobile gamer, they have a different mind frame of what they like. There are some games that cross over between the elements, like like a PUBG, a Fortnite, Minecraft, and that's, I think, what's been blurring Microsoft's vision, is that they kind of see this Minecraft success going, this thing works on everything but a friggin' refrigerator, But the PC players play something and the mobile players, everybody has there's an inherited genres of games on PC that can't even really exist on console. They can, but nobody really plays. Just like there's different things. Look at the top play games on all three platforms. That's why when Phil Spencer says, the person who plays on Xbox is the same person that plays on PC. It's the same person that plays over on mobile. And it's like, no, dude, not really. There might be some games here or there that carry over, that kind of break the mold, Rocket Leagues, and maybe, but not every game needs to be that. And I think that's where Microsoft's fault is. That's why you see what Gears 5 has fallen. Like, you've seen Gears 4. What happened? Gears 4 was on Windows 10 store, and they had to merge the playlist over 3 months later because the PC guys couldn't find games. And now you see Gears 5. It dropped off of any kind of interest. Whatever metrics we have to look at, which if people are streaming it, it's like at 134 people prime time on Mixer. Nobody's interested in it. Borderlands is still up there. And then whatever we had on Steam. Now I understand that there was Game Pass, and you were like, $1 for Game Pass. Of course you're gonna go do it on Game Pass, right? You're not gonna buy it on Steam. However, it was there in Steam, and it's not the fact that it wasn't at number one. I wouldn't expect that, but it was there. It was sitting there around 80 or whatever, 70 of 10,000 people in its prime, and it was 2,000 or 3,000. What I observed was how quickly it dropped. It kept going boom, boom, boom. It just kept going down the list out of the 100 top played games on Steam. I'm not saying it should have been 200,000, 300,000 day one. That would have been great. Like Destiny was. Destiny was 200,000 concurrent players on Steam. But what I was interested in is where Gears fell on Steam and how it consistently dropped down, eventually off within a short amount of time. It didn't have the legs. And I was told more people to play your game means more weight that your game is gonna be succeed and have legs because there's more people playing your game. Well, I'm not really seeing it with Gears 5. The fact that it's everywhere and it was given for such a low amount of money. That's why I think the PlayStation's approach to bringing in the games. I'm sure everybody would love to run God of War on a 2080 Ti, you know? But therefore, if Sony does that, then they lose the value of their console because now that is not the only place to play. And it doesn't make their console a necessity or give it diminishes the demand for the console. Not to say those guys on PC will never buy a PlayStation. Now you guarantee they will never buy a PlayStation if you're going to bring all your games to them. All right? That's the thing. And Microsoft has brought all their games to the PC. So they almost guarantee that those guys will never buy an Xbox. Maybe they're never going to buy one, but you never know. Microsoft was counting that they'll never buy an Xbox. If you make an Xbox worthwhile, $100, $200, you put a whole bunch of games on it, you know. I don't think a PC guy will be afraid to go pick up Spider-Man on PlayStation, you know. You put great games there, you know, some people will pick up a console and say, hey, you know what, let me try this game because this is the only place to play it. Yeah, I like to play it at 120 frames, but you know what, that's not happening because they're not going to make this for my console. What's up, OBJ? You know? You know, then that's the thing. Like, they're trying to play the fool's game. Like, hey, we're going to give all your games. That's where the people are going to be. Oh, just bring the games to them and we'll have so many more people. It dropped off real quick. So this whole kind of, like, the reason why, you know, our wonderful Phil Spencer is putting all of Xbox's IP, all of its core IP, and putting it on computers, on PCs, and put it in Steam. You know, the whole reason why he's doing that is because they want more people to play the game. More people to buy those microtransactions. Yeah, that iron. Oh, baby. No, and that's... I actually have that Phil Ness. I have that Phil Ness right here. We hear it.
If someone owns a phone and doesn't want to go buy a console, we still want to be...
No, that's not the one. But that's the one I'm going to get to.
How important is market
This is it.
versus Nintendo and versus
You know it.
Sony's PlayStation?
The two metrics I really look at in the growth of this business is engagement of players. How many monthly active players do you have across any device? And what does the software and service revenue look like for those players?
Exactly. Service revenue. So the more people to get that game gives them a better chance to get the revenue from them that they might buy more iron or gold. Whatever the hell they're buying. There you go. That's the Phil Ness. That's how he finds it. You don't see it in the success of consoles. You don't see it in core audience, stuff like that. And that's the essence of it. And the problem is that we see a lot of people, core owners, not happy with the way Microsoft has gone. And I'm not. That's why I do this. I do not like the way they're going. If they want to do streaming and all that stuff, that's it. But you don't sacrifice your core audience. And you don't make your core audience, you don't forcefully make your core audience feel less than. That they kind of have to just, well, I got to get a gaming PC because they're giving Xbox Live away for free. I can run these games better. Like, they got Game Pass over there now. Like, what am I doing here? That's the worst thing to feel after you spent $500 on hardware and you really don't want to. What's up, Wound Up? How you doing, man? Exactly. Isn't that funny? How important engagement is, but now they don't report engagement. Now they're just going to report profits. That whole thing, basically, they are just lump summing everything. And it's basically going to be Minecraft money. Minecraft and Surface will have to balance out all the trash because the last time they reported year over year was 50% lower in consoles. Like, they're snowshoeing it. They're just lumping it all into a group, and they're just going to be like, oh, revenue was up 7%. And then if you really break that down, it's probably like Minecraft. Meanwhile, Xbox console sales are down. Game Pass subscribers have dropped because everybody signed up to play Gears. They know that. They know that people are going to sign up, play, and then they're going to drop off. Yo, what's up, Ailish? How you doing? They know that. That's the game they're playing. So instead of reporting ups and downs and peaks and valleys, they're just going to say, oh, yeah, well, our revenue is 7%. You know, that's like saying somebody has subscribers on YouTube and they're like, yo, yeah, my subscriber count goes up 2, goes up down 5, goes up 7, and every month I'm like, I lost 5 subscribers. Oh, I gained 3, I lost 2, I lost 5. Instead, I'll be like, oh, my subscriber count's 1,000. You know? You don't report on the ups and downs. And that's how they're changing it. Exactly. Style. And they're changing the narrative. And that's the game that they're playing. But that's for financial. The thing is that if Microsoft is doing so well, like if this is an ingenious idea and bringing games to everybody and services and sign me up for $1, if this is so great, then why is the needle not moving? If the X was the answer to all the problems, if the X was the answer, it was the power struggle, the X was the answer. Why is there year-over-year drop in hardware when you have the newest console out there? The power was the narrative. It was all about the power. These games are struggling on the S. X was the answer. Where's the growth? Where is the growth? Where's the growth in all people playing Gears? And like, where's the growth? Nothing is working. Nothing is working. And I'll even do a video again about the Mixer thing. And about that money that they gave to Ninja and what Mixer is now. Like 3%. Like that is another visit. But the thing is that all this extra effort. All this effort into putting in the clouds and streaming from your phones and doing all this stuff. All this effort at the sacrifice of your game quality and pissing off your core audience because you're not giving them what they signed up for. Is it worth it? It is all extra credit. What good is extra credit when you're getting a D? If you're failing, who gives a shit if you're doing extra credit? Right? You got to get your grades up. You got to go from a D to a C. You got to get up there. When you got a B and an A, then you worry about extra credit. You're not worried about extra credit and casuals when you were at the bottom of the barrel. You know?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time for extra credit.
Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody's sitting here going, I can't wait to play. When you don't have the games that people want to play, what the matters where you play them? I always said this. If you got the games that people want to play, then it's amazing how PlayStation Now put God of War on the thing and people were still showing God of War stuff. It's an amazing game. And that's a game that you probably want to play everywhere. You know, hey, well, we'll do some God of War. Maybe not. But when you make a library of games that people want to play, then giving them access to it where they want to go, you're more successful. But if you're giving us games like Sea of Thieves, which Sea of Thieves is actually doing better viewer-wise than Gears of War is. But you give us low-quality games that kind of have slide things, and like people not liking that iron stuff in multiplayer, and the leveling up in Gears 5, and that's really hurting the legs of this game. The microtransactions, the skins. I saw, what was I was listening to a podcast, so I don't know what the hell I was listening to. I saw people commenting, where's Coltrane? Why can't I use Coltrane in multiplayer? And then Rod was like, we're working on his ultimate. His ultimate? What do you mean his ultimate? Oh, he has an ultimate. Just give us the skin to play in multiplayer. What the hell are you talking about ultimates? Oh, because he has to be in the game for the horde mode, and yeah, he has to have his ultimate power. Dude. You know what? Let them do what they want to do. But my thing is Sony is putting the pressure on them. And talking about the next thing that they said, remote play is now coming over. Yeah, exactly. Overwatch 5. They're giving Cole his ultimate. His ultimate. It did. It dropped off the charts. Now, I think on MPD, I think it might sit maybe around 4 or 5. If it's not on MPD and it's like 9 and 10, like, and go back to my previous video where Microsoft, and that's a pretty neglected my video about the whole, they got to talk about their numbers. Because if Game Pass had that influence on Gears, and Gears is not like in the top 5 for MPD, Microsoft needs to come clean and be like, yo, Game Pass is where it's at. Because I told this the last thing, the perception's going to be that their games are not successful. And, you know, it kind of, I don't think it's totally not true. Like, I think their games are, but I don't think their games are seeing the success that they want to see. Or that the Xbox fans want the success to be. Just like how they wanted a 9 out of 10 for Gears and just didn't get it. I think that we're living in the Xbox 360 Prime days, where Microsoft actually gave a crap about their friggin' console. They don't care about the console. And I think Kuhn said, somebody said they want to cash out. What's up, D? How you doing, man? You know, they want to cash out. But Sony is still looking at them. Like, Microsoft's trying to walk away from the fight. Going, guys, yeah. Leave me be. Like, yo, come on, I'm done. With black eyes and you know, and limp arms and just trying to walk away. And Sony's like chasing them down, going, I'm not done with you. Microsoft's like, yo, I just want to be friends. Like, I just want to be friends, walking away. And Sony's like, get over here. You're not, and chasing them down. Just when Phil Spencer goes on stage and he goes, oh man, xCloud. Oh, we're going to talk about xCloud. Here we go. You know, bringing gamers to phones and you know.
Someone owns a phone and doesn't want to go buy a console. We still want to be them to be able to play our.
Yes, I love phones.
Like our video distribution, Mixer, Xbox Live, Minecraft, as we talked about.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait to get to you play on phones. I can't wait. Oh, but let me tell you about this other. xCloud is going to be when you stream from our Xboxes. But we got another feature. We're going to turn your Xbox into an xCloud. Oh, are you? Oh, really? You're going to turn my Xbox into an xCloud? Really? They've been doing that. like, this is the Phil Ness. This is the Phil Ness that goes on here, man. Like, this is the Phil Ness. Like, he's here. It's right here. You could stream your Xbox to your Windows 10. It was an update with Windows 10. You stream your Xbox to your Windows 10 PC. I've done it. It's alright. You only can do it in your local Wi-Fi. It's okay. But look. Here they are. 2 ways to stream. This is with, here's xCloud. This is the paid option. You know, this is where you're going to pay. You know, that's a pay. This one, stream from your own console. Look. But look at what happens. Microsoft's trying. They're trying. Including your Game Pass games to your Android phone or tablet. Look, they're trying. And then look what Sony does. Like I said, Microsoft's walking away. Sony comes out and goes, guys, you want to play on phones? We got you. Used to be only Sony Xperias. Then they went to iPad and iPhone. iPad and iPhone don't work with this. iPhone does not work nice with Microsoft. I guess they left out the marshmallow roasting. I just want to make sure I'm sharing this thing. I'm not talking. Yeah. There we go, guys. So you could stream right here to the Windows 10, like I was saying. This was back with Windows 10 updates. With the Xbox app, the companion app. They did. So this is nothing new. I guess it's streaming to phones, which we come to that part now. And basically streaming from the cloud. This is xCloud. This is what you're going to pay for. This is part of the service that you're going to pay for their Xboxes. Or you could stream from your own console. But look, Android phone or tablet, and you can only use this one, an Android phone and tablet. They're only down to Android. Sony announced in March you could do remote play, which is basically this. They're in preview. Microsoft's still coming soon. Like, oh, really? Well, you have all the time in the world. Don't worry, Xbox. Don't worry. You got all the time in the world. Sony goes, here's Sony Xperia. They locked it down to their own phones. iPhone and iPad was in March. remote play app for this. And now they just announced this week with updated 7 OS, the operating system 7, that they're opening this Sony Xperia up to all Android devices. So Sony is going to have remote play on the Vita, if you have one, all iOS devices, Mac and PC, and all Android devices running Android 5 above. While Xbox is over here, coming soon just to Android. This is what I mean. This is where I mean that Microsoft is just pussyfooting around, man. Dude, they got their foot on your neck. If this is what you believe the future is, you better get your ass in the kitchen and start getting out there. What is this preview bowl? And it just works on Android phones. Sony's out here this week. They're going to be everywhere. If this is the future that you want, a remote play, this is the future that everybody's talking about. Oh, streaming. Oh, the streaming. Then on top of that, all Sony has to do is take this remote play and flip the switch, and they're on every device. Done. Done, done, done. So there's something I gotta say. For all these people going around and going like, oh, Sony, I told you Sony's gonna do what Microsoft is doing. You better go back into your hole. Why? Because you don't want Sony to do what Microsoft is doing, because they're going to kill them at their own game. Because Sony has the core audience. They have the hardware sales at 100 million consoles. They have the streaming service with 800 games, over 100 games. They have amazing first-party, high-quality games that people want to play, that people will buy a console for. They are now remote play to everything. DS4, the DualShock, works on PC, Mac, all Android phones, all iOS devices. Microsoft's still in preview. Same thing goes for Google Stadia, guys. Same thing goes for Stadia. Stadia's coming out with 40 games that could be played on Google Stadia. Microsoft is launching their xCloud service with Halo, Forza, and Sea of Thieves. Only to select people. Only to a few of you guys. I signed up for the beta for Bleeding Edge at E3. I still never got invited to it. Why? Why are we pussyfooting around? Why are you not being aggressive? If this is your future, if this is what you believe, Phil, if this is what it is.
All right, so let's say that hypothetically I'm still an Xbox 360 owner.
Yeah.
That being said, what should my next hardware purchase be?
Yeah, that's right. No clue.
No.
You know how to answer that bullshit. On top of that, when asked about xCloud,
Right? Would you ship that? What you just played?
Would you ship that? Really? Sony's already out there. Google's going to be out there next month. And you're doing this. So people saying like Microsoft is going to win. This is the new thing. Microsoft's going to win. Win what? They're stumbling out of the gate. Little beta invites. Yo, meet me in a back alley. I'll slip you a code. Like, get the hell out of here. You got it prime time. Prime time. All right? But they've been talking about this forever. Sony's been doing this since launch with remote play. They just added all these devices now because they're ready. Sony just flipped the switch. They're ready to go. Here's Phil Spencer. Oh, well, we're adding remote play to our devices. And there he goes. This is back at E3. Look what Dopey says. And then he even says, however, the most interesting implication is that Microsoft might seek to bring its Game Pass service to PlayStation and Nintendo. Spencer comments, we weren't limited to console, then PC, then mobile. Instead, he said every device. And he's like, one thing about reaching the customer, where their compute device could be an Android phone. I don't know what he thought about iPhone. I guess he just thinks about Android phone. You think, What are all the ways a person pays for content? So we need to make sure we're world class at free-to-play content, but we also look at subscription as a much lower barrier for. He's looking at. I don't know who said this. I don't want to take their line from them, but I thought it was pretty funny. But it's basically like it's like dollar store gaming, you know, or like welfare gaming or some. Some just like bottom of the barrel, like we did with phones when they were $1.99 for a game or some crap like that. I'm gonna come back to the chat here. Yeah, who has a PlayStation TV? Yeah, that thing was a fail, right? That was another device. That was like what the sad edition is. It was Sony's kind of just like little media device that you could stream games to. That didn't work out either. Exactly. Sony's out there, flip the switch, and Phil Spencer.
Would you chip that? What you just played?
That's how he responded to his xCloud service. So they're taking their sweet time. I don't. You know what? And that's what I said. Google's coming out. Sony's is coming out already. Remote play on everything. And Microsoft's beta testing it. By the time Microsoft comes out with it, people are going to be done with it. They're like, I'm done. Streaming sucks. I'm going back to native stuff. Exactly. The thing is, but the streaming, and I'm going to head, this is another thing, because I see people running around with the quote, oh, you want me to turn the soundboard up? Gotcha.
Right? Would you chip that?
There you go. I'm turning that sound button. We got that sound, but we need to go full effect of that sound with our grinds board here. And hit that like button, guys, and join up. I mean, we get those subscribers. We're gonna do engagement numbers here, right? Anyway, I appreciate the support from everybody, but we're gonna go in. I see everybody talking about, oh, Sony's doing the same thing. Like I said, you don't want Sony to do the same thing. Because they are, and they're doing it better than Microsoft is doing it. That's the thing. That's why it's not what you do, it's how you do it. Like streaming, like I remember when Game Pass came out, and it was like, yo, native games, that's what's awesome. Sony just lets you stream, no native gameplay. And that was the big deal. Then Sony allowed you to do native games. Now everybody's back to talking about streaming. Streaming sucked. That was the whole downfall of PS Now. Was the streaming. Oh, it's streaming. That sucks. I'm not paying for that. $20 a stream? No. They even had rentals. PlayStation Now first launched, you could rent the game. I remember the prices were astronomical, but you could actually rent to play the game. You could say, I want to pay $10 to play this game for 24 hours. Like, it was a la carte. They had rentals. And they got rid of that and just made it a consumption of like a Netflix. But when it first launched, it was basically they had rentals in there. Like you could just play a game for a certain amount of time. And he got rid of that. But we're going to come to the other aspect of it. Because I see a lot of, oh man, that thing came up like that? I'm sorry, guys. Then my whole display thing looked like that. I didn't have it in the box. So you didn't see any of that stuff. And I've been bouncing around with two different resolution computers. Sorry about that. Oh, I don't know what the hell I just changed now. Oh, man. Hold on. I don't know what the hell I just changed. Where's my display? I'm sorry about that, guys. I've been bouncing around two different resolutions. I moved something. Hold on. I got to mix my display because I want you to see this. Hold on. Those are my display capture. Why can't I drag this thing? Oh, man. Well. I don't know what's going on my display. It will not let me. Is it locked? Look at this. Dopey me. Dopey me. There we go, guys. We're back. Sorry about that. There we go. Exhibit A. There we go. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so what I was trying to show was, like, this streaming for the GameCube, if you couldn't say it, this is what I said, coming soon, and then Sony doing a remote play. So I just want to show the screens that I was showing. Like, this is the Windows 10 one, and then this is what's going on with, this is the paying from their cloud, and then this is using your own console to stream, which is remote play, which Sony has, and they have Mac, and now they just added Xperia this week. They're going to allow it to go all Android devices. And they have it on iPhone and iPad. For some reason, Microsoft is ignoring iPhone and iPad in this thing. So, and this was this is where I read, Phil Spencer's content. But this is what I want this show, because this is the one that I see people really driving home with this Jim Ryan guy. So this was done back in May. So next PlayStation, this is where those slides showed up. Those slides about, Sony's going to the cloud too. The difference. Remote play and PlayStation Now will be key pillars for Sony's next generation offering from GameIndustry.biz, right? Right down here. First of all, the remote play. Remote play feature transforms 100 million PS4s into streaming game servers which can stream content from locations close to you, Yoshida said. We plan to support this feature in our next generation console as well. So remote play is going to be a big deal. Now they opened up remote play to all iPhones, all Android phones, PC and Mac. They're everywhere this week. This week. Not in beta. Not coming soon. Not in beta. All your PlayStation games are on a Vita or all devices. If that's the way you want to play remote play, which it's alright. I don't really like it. I don't think it works. It's not reliable. That's why when Microsoft announced at E3, I'm like, Xbox remote play? I'm like, it is what it is. It all depends on your download and upload speeds at both where you are and at your home, which is very variable. So I don't think it's totally reliable. It's nice. The point I'm trying to make is that remote play on Sony is everywhere today, this week, right now, October 2019. They're in preview, sending invites out to maybe guys who they smacked their ass over at E3 and now they're good friends and now I'll send you a code. Oh my Yabar, I liked your stream. Okay, I'll send you a code. And streaming from Xbox consoles are coming soon. Take all the time you want, Microsoft. Google's coming out too. Take all the time you want. Go send this to 20 people, put them under the NDA, and they can't say anything. Just like Bleeding Edge, just like Sea of Thieves beta that lasts over a year. Microsoft has such a problem with rolling out stuff. They want this beta bullshit. Meanwhile, the competition's just rolling. They're just rolling. Like I said, they're running away with the blue eyes, the black and blue eyes, and Sony's chasing them down saying, we're not done with you yet. And what Microsoft needs to do is turn around and go, that's it, enough. And back. But no, they're not. Let them get beat up. That's what happens. That's what's going to happen. They keep running away. And everybody thinks that, like, the guy who's, like, Sony chasing down Microsoft is just going to stop and go, you know what, I'm going to get beat up too. No, Sony's not done, all right? Look at this. Look the difference here. Right here. Right here. They're being competitive. Actually, PlayStation is being more competitive with Google Stadia right now than Microsoft is. Microsoft's messing around with betas and shit. They're not even ready for prime time. Meanwhile, Sony's out there already. They already tried putting their stuff on TVs and stuff. It didn't work. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants to play streaming games. It's an option. It's a way to, like, test something out. Like, it's not the way to play. Microsoft's banking the town on it and taking all their first party in subscriptions in the cloud. They're going like all in on a service on a thing that really has proven not to be something that core gamers want. And not even casuals want it. But anyway, this is the key point. And this is the stuff that we don't hear Phil say. All right? This is what Jim Ryan said. Oh, hey, was it up here? The streaming service is now in 19 countries, and that's another thing. They're in more countries. I think Microsoft's launching in North America, Europe, and Korea. This beta of cloud is in Korea and North. So meanwhile, Sony's in 19 countries. All right, already, and that was another reason why the PlayStation console sold more, because Microsoft took forever to roll that shit out because they were worried about TVs and trying to talk localization with the voice. But anyway, PlayStation Now, so it says here, major expansion early this year says it gives them a blanket in coverage of key Western markets. This means PlayStation can now market the service more aggressively, suggesting it will be a much more prominent pillar of Sony's strategy in the next generation. When asked by investors about the quality of PlayStation Now, you know, the lag and breakage. He does not like that, of course. We're never complacent. We're always trying to make it better, but this is not a critical area of weakness. There's also talk of Sony, how you can get better monetization off console experiences. See, the investors are asking about, like, wait a second. Everybody seems to be going to this cloud or to this route of, like, off the console. What are you doing, PlayStation? Sony's not going to be like, we don't care about console sales. No, that's what Phil says when he talks about this stuff, like, and says stupid stuff like that, and gives me a whole episode for a show. Gives me a whole content for a show because he says dumb things. This is what he says. Principal objective as the company explores how to use streaming to reach a broader base of users. That's fine. They're reaching a broader base, right? Because they met their casual. They met their core audience. But he says, during the presentation, Ryan's boss, a PlayStation boss, said the initial momentum will be crucial to maintain Sony's market-leading position with the next-gen console. And here it is. The key to a platform success is initial momentum. Our critical success factor for next-gen will be our ability to transition our community from PlayStation 4 to next-gen faster than we have ever done before. Before then broadening out to new audiences. He's setting those priorities straight. Our key initial momentum is a success. But what we're doing is we have to move our PlayStation 4 people to the next PlayStation 5 before then broadening out to new audiences. Then he says here, well, I think he says it. Well, he talks about the whole streaming will be one of the ways they play. It will not be the only way. So he's not going all in subscriptions and streaming. And also, we'll always have a disc in the device. This way he confirms the PlayStation will have a disc. But he, and then jabbed at Microsoft. But he says here, yeah, he talks about backwards compatible with the 4, but the biggest thing is that they're dealing with the core and then reaching out to the broader audiences. That's the key. Where Microsoft is kind of just reaching for everybody at day one. And they're not getting the returns. And what they're doing is they're pissing off their core audience. And they're making their core audience go, well, why am I even here if I'm not even the focus? Why am I invested in your ecosystem, your platform, when all you talk about is everybody else? And make my decision look bad because you're giving services out there for free. You're giving people, like, they're getting to play all these Nintendo games, plus they get to play Cuphead and Ori. Like, you're just catering to everybody else and telling me to wait. No. You cater to your audience first. You give them Spider-Man, God of War, Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, all their core games. You sign those exclusive deals with Call of Duty and all those games and come out with exclusives such as Concrete Genie and Medieval and remasters and all that other stuff. And you cater to your core audience. Then, once you maximize that core audience, then you start reaching out for, like, yo, this dude says he doesn't care about PlayStation games. Well, try one. And lure him in. Then you reach out. That's what Microsoft did in the 360 generation. They got everybody with Halo and Gears. And then they start saying, well, Kinect is going to give you some casual games. We're going to do some casual stuff. How's some arcades? Then they started reaching out. They stayed too casual at the end of the generation and started giving us some bad core games, but then they brought it back with the Xbox One, with like Rise and stuff. They kind of showed that they're still serious about giving core games to their core audience. They haven't done that here. They're basically turning their games to casual fee. Like they turn their games into casual fare because of Game Pass, because for $1. Meanwhile, all the people that bought that game for $1, sorry chat, now I'll come back to you guys. Meanwhile, all the people that bought that game for $1 would have been all the people that would have probably paid $60 for Gears 5. You know? That's the thing. Like, you can't reach out to all these casual folk. if you're not satisfying your core audience. And then when you hear Booty and buying studios and talking about what those studios are going to produce, Game Pass games, you're not going to win back mindshare. You're not going to gain back your core audience if you're giving us kind of just Game Pass content that really is not considered like value. Like, hey, you know, it's in Game Pass. Like, I wouldn't have bought it anyway, but it's there. No, that's not what you... Oh, my God. I moved my chat boxes around. What a freaking disaster. Talk about somebody's mess. Sorry, guys. Sorry, grinders. A little bit of a heat. A little bit of the heat. You know how these things get me. Because the justification, dude. Like, the justification of, like, oh, Microsoft's doing everything. This is... Yo, they're so successful. They're so right. Like, they're not succeeding in anything. We'll see mix of stuff tomorrow or when I do my video. But, like, Gears didn't have more legs because of where it was. And that's not that it's a bad game, but the thing is like, was it worth it? Was it worth it to add Jackbot? I haven't seen anybody streaming Jackbot, but he was put in there for the casual audience because it was in Game Pass. Rod Ferguson said, this game is launching in Game Pass, so you don't want to get your head shot off with a shotgun, so we're going to put more accessible ways to play the game. Here's Jackbot. Oh, here's arcade mode. Like, did we really want the resourcing put into Jackbot and arcade mode because of Game Pass, where maybe they could have used that resourcing and gave us more maps, more destructibility, more gameplay factors, more hardcore things that will keep you engaged? Or because they had to casualize it because it was in Game Pass and on all devices, PCs, and all that other stuff? Oh, Fatal streamed Jackbot? Well, he's got one person that streamed Jackbot. But you can't... The amazing thing is that you can't even use Jackbot in the campaign because you got to be co-oping with somebody. You can't just play the game with Jackbot. It was put in there for a casual player. There was effort to make Jackbot a playable character. There was effort for arcade mode for casual players. I understand that you want to try to broaden your horizons, but they did that with Game Pass in mind. Was that worth it? Was that worth it? I don't know. Like, do you think? I don't. Like, you know, was it worth it? Was that effort worth it? Or maybe they could have put some more maps in the game. Maybe they would have finished Coltrane's Ultimate. I don't know. Sooner. I don't know. But developer mindshare, developer tasks had to go into making that game more casualized for that Game Pass. What Halo Infinite is gonna look like with Game Pass? I don't have to worry that Last of Us 2 is gonna come out and go, oh, you know what? Maybe it won't. It's gonna be in the Sony service, and you know maybe they'll just make it episodic. You know, charge you $20 a chapter of Last of Us 2. Let it go on for a year and two. They would. You talk about monetization. Who's making money? Make some money. Oh, these guys, they can't make money at the risk of losing their fans. Because without their core audience who buys and spends the most, as Phil Spencer said in his interview, that wonderful interview, Xbox fan, the console player is the one who buys the most and spends the most. You cannot make them think that they're wasting their money. And for some reason, that's how it happened. They're making people who spend $500 feel a little like, maybe I'll just go get a computer next, a PC. And that's not a good feeling to give to your core audience. In addition, when you talk about focus and talking about Gears Tactics being a PC first game, where's the console first game? Sony's keeping that console to their core audience. They will use these services like PlayStation Now, like Remote Play, to just meet the competition and satisfy them. But with PlayStation Now's price, PlayStation Now seems to be a better value than Xbox Game Pass. If Xbox continues to put games of Gears of War size caliber in Game Pass, then they have an advantage because those come day and date and you can't beat that value. But if Sony really takes that marquee title thing and starts putting in newer games in that PlayStation Now service to compete with that, because you even have to say PlayStation Plus, they gave away Last of Us and the new baseball game for this year. That's huge. Those are two huge exclusives that they just put into their PlayStation Plus service. Microsoft has decent games with gold, but no, have they ever really broke down, like, have done something crazy like that? It's been decent, but nothing where Sony's just like, damn, here's some great games, like, for PlayStation Plus. Like, Microsoft never just drops, like, yo, Master Chief Collection, here we go, games with gold. You know, no. I played on Phil Spencer mode. Oh my goodness, that's great, man. But the thing is like, Sony is still looking at Microsoft as competition, and if Microsoft is doing everything right, and everybody just loves what Microsoft is doing, and Xbox and the clouds and all this other stuff, then why is it not successful? And you say, oh, maybe it's successful to them. But if it was successful to them, they would be talking about it a lot more than what they are, and not hiding numbers behind financials and all that other stuff. They will be coming out. Aaron Greenberg will love just to say, yeah, you know, 10 million Gears of War 5 copies sold. Gears 5 copies, 10 million sold. You know, they just dropped that 3 million over the weekend, and that was it. 3 million players over the weekend, and that was it. They never even backed up Gears at all. Meanwhile, Detroit Become Human comes out over a year later, and they're like, oh yeah, well, we sold 3 million copies on a PlayStation 4. Even like as they're launching for the PC. Like, yeah, we sold 3, like a year later announcing sales numbers. Over a year. Detroit Become Human. Oh yeah, we sold 3 million copies on PlayStation. It's like, whoa. You know? The power of the X is going to give it to you. What are we seeing with the combination, like, with the competition? Like, and it's still $500. And it's just, oh, man. And they marketed so much for Gears 5. That's the other thing. It's like, we asked them to market more. I've seen a lot of commercials for Gears 5. And it still really didn't move the needle. That's what I mean. They have lost gamers' respect. And Sony, and they become so... Sony has put so much pressure on them. Like, the PlayStation Now, right now, people, nobody really would have considered it. But now, if Sony's just like, yo, we got God of War, Uncharted 4, and, you know, GTA 5, which that's the only place they get it in streaming services or whatever like that. Even though you could download all these games. Infamous, you know, these games, the biggest games that you heard of, in here for 3 months until January, right through the holiday season. And they might add more next month, marquee games, for $10 a month. What's up, Ice Queen? How you doing, man? How you doing? You know? And adding it for 3 months, and then adding more marquee games, adding more value to it, and Microsoft's sitting there going, like, here's Game Pass, all through the whole thing. Yeah, Chips Ahoy. Buy a box of Chips Ahoy, you're gonna play Gears. Like, that's the thing. Gears was all over the place. Like, it was spammed out there. It was Phil Spencer's dream. It was a thing that people said, it's an option. Give options. What option? I want to tell you an option. And I said this before, and this is what I'll just say when people talk about options. If you walk into a restaurant and there are two options, a chicken sandwich and a burger, and both of them are $1. The chicken sandwich, though, actually both of them are $5. I'll say both of them are $5. You look at them and say, oh, I have an option. $5, I get a burger, or do I get a chicken sandwich? What do I want, right? But the restaurant says, well, with that $5 on the chicken sandwich, you get a soda, a side, a vegetable, a soup, and a dessert for $5. It's a whole meal for $5 for the chicken sandwich. Oh, that's nice. Well, what do I get for the hamburger? Oh, you just get the burger. Oh, so $5 gets me a whole entire meal, or it gets me just one burger with the chicken sandwich. A whole entire meal with the chicken sandwich for $5, or I get a burger for $5 just by itself. And then I got to spend another $1 on fries, another $1 on the soup, another $1. I got to spend all this extra money, and that meal will be about $12, and you're giving it to me for $5. Well, we just offer the option of chicken sandwiches and burgers. Well, that's exactly what Microsoft's doing with Game Pass and retail. The Game Pass is giving you the game for like $1, and you're getting all these games for $1. And Game Pass in the store, in the store, it's $60. That's the burger. It's like you could offer these options, but if you're offering these options and you're really swaying the consumer into one option because you're making one other option totally ridiculous. Why would you pay $60? Why would you pay $5 and get nothing and just get a burger, or pay $5 and get a whole entire meal? Why would you just pay $1 to play this game and a whole bunch of other games, whereas you could pay this? So it's really not a true option in the sense that you have the freedom to choose, but their ecosystem, their pricing of it is really kind of filtering you down one pathway. The pathway they want you to go down. They want you to turn into a subscriber. They want you to be subscribed. But once they got you, then they don't care about the quality of games. They don't care. They just care about that they got you $10 a month. That $1 a month is to get you in the door. It's a friggin' scam. And I hate it because they're scamming with trash. Without Gears 5, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You're getting games that are like haven't succeeded. Like Devil May Cry hype dropped off real quick. Let's put it in there. You know, like it's real. Like you gotta put quality in Game Pass. You gotta put more games like Gears because that makes Game Pass better, more appealing. You don't put Game Pass fodder games like, here's Blair Witch, here's Bleeding Edge. It was in development by the B team before we even wanted them. We didn't even know what they were making. We just paid them millions of dollars to buy their studio, but we didn't ask them what they were making. But then they just came to us and said, "Oh, look, we got Bleeding Edge." I love how when Microsoft tells a story, they tell a story like it's oh, I didn't even know you were making this game. Really? You just bought the studio, not even knowing what they were working on. Okay. Yeah. It's smart investment. Like, you had no clue. Oh, well, we just gave them billions of dollars, and then all of a sudden they came like, oh, we got Bleeding Edge. It's like, oh, really? That's how it happened? Like, when they announced the X, they're like, oh, man, they're really doing it. It's like, really? Really? They're really doing it? Like, you're surprised? Like, I love everybody's just surprised. Like, where's your research? Where's your investment in what you're doing? I was like, oh, I didn't know. Bleeding Edge just showed up. Like, oh, yeah, well, in fact, you're working on it. Well, just put it in Game Pass. It's like, okay. It needs to be curated. Like, you can't just throw just trash in it. And again, why is that game? It's under NDA, Bleeding Edge. Under an NDA. I still haven't gotten an invite to it, to the alpha, and you hear whoever doesn't talk about it saying it's horrible. So, who can talk about it and break their NDA? Yeah, why? Why is it under an NDA? Why? What's the secret? What's the secret? And the thing is, two of the most successful gaming platforms, the PlayStation and Nintendo, the one thing that they have done is met their expectations and exceeded some expectations of their core audience. And the core goes out, and they're the ones who promote and push the consoles to the casuals and push the services to the casuals. Yo, I tried out PlayStation Now. You got to play this game. Why don't you try it over there? The core audience is self-promotion. That's the promotion. You don't tell people, well, you know, what would you buy?
All right, so let's say that I'm still an Xbox 360 owner.
Yep.
That being said, what should my next hardware purchase be?
I
guess
you know,
a tough question.
but we'll go buy Ninja. We'll go buy him. We'll go spend billions of dollars on that dope to do nothing for Mixer, which is my next video. Stay tuned. Like, oh, everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. Yeah, everybody's. No, they're not doing it. Nobody's streaking. Sony and Nintendo are huge successes. Nintendo launched after everybody and is now going to overkill the friggin' Xbox. Doing what they're doing. And Sony is adapting to the times, but making sure that the core audience stays relevant. They just opened up crossplay now to everything. Crossplay was not the dire circumstance that everybody made it out to be at E3. Everybody's doing it. Sony's not. Boo-hoo. You're going to fail. They beta tested. They jerked off people. Jerked around. Like, oh, Minecraft, protect our players. All bullshit, horseshit, whatever the hell they're talking about. They added it to a little game in there, and now they opened up the gates. Okay, wonderful. It's a great option. Can I turn it off? That's what I want to know, because you can't turn it off in some of Microsoft's games. Thanks. It's a nice option. It wasn't the end of the world. It wasn't like, oh my god, this is the future of gaming. That's it. The thing is what if this is the future of Xbox? What is Xbox winning? If Xbox turns into a cloud of dust, why do you still bleed green? When there's no body to even bleed. It's just the dust. So how can you remain a die-hard Xbox fan in this console war? Or think, next generation, we get it. We hit the reboot button. You know, we hit the sirens like, oh, restart. Everybody back to the starting line. Everybody back. Everybody back. Everybody back. Everybody back to the starting line. Why? Everything comes with you. And if Xbox is beyond the console and just everywhere, it's on all devices, then what is it? Like, what is it? What are you? What is the brand then? You're gonna wear a shirt that says Xbox app? You're gonna go to FanFest with a bunch of phones with strap-ons with controllers? Is that the future that you want for Xbox? Because I told this before, and I say it all the time. We did not ask for this. That's why there's so many people just like, I'm done. I'm going over to PlayStation. I'm going to primarily use that as my primary console. There's so many people just like done with it. It doesn't just happen to one or two people because they want hits or want likes or views. It's happening to a lot of people that I watched when I started with the Xbox, and it's happening. People just pissed off because this is not what they wanted. That's the problem. This doesn't just happen to like, oh yeah, this guy just like, he just changed his mind. No. It doesn't happen. It's because Microsoft changed the game because they were failing and they didn't meet the core audience expectations. When Phil came on, he spoke to the core. He said that he was going to be back. He was going to bring Xbox. It's not about how many times you get hit. It's about how many times you get hit and you come back. That whole Rocky promotion. I'm going to knock down, but it's back when I come back up again and I'm going to put. Yeah. What happened to that? What happened to Rocky stood back up after getting knocked down and said, you know what, please stop punching me. Let's go get some coffee. That's what Phil did. You know what, let's not fight anymore in the ring. You could be the champ. Come on, let's go get a cup of coffee. Really? Sony's not done with you. Sony's not buying you coffee. Sony's slashing the prices of their services. They open remote play now to every device. More devices than you're going to have, and you still didn't even launch yet. So where are you? You're so tough. You talk this game of cloud. You came out with your rinky-dink video early this year with like, oh, xCloud on our service and the blades, and here are the blades and the Xbox Ones and all that horse shit. Meanwhile, Sony's been just sitting there cruising and like, oh yeah, well, take it off the Xperia, put it on all Android devices. October, go. Microsoft's like, well, we'll wait to E3 to hear more about xCloud. Okay, well, guys, you could stream from your console now. It's like, oh, more to come in October. Stay tuned to XO19 where we'll tell you more on what devices and how to sign up. Like, oh, and we're going to roll them out in only 3 countries and 4 games. Oh, and you could try it on your console, but then, you got to test your console, see if it works, but it's only going to be for alpha, beta, and alpha, all this bullshit server. You got to be like the alpha loop to get it. Test your server. Like, testing. Google's coming out. Boom. Here it is. Stadia in November. Boom. Here, $60. Go. $10 a month. Sony's like, flip the switch. PlayStation now is $10 a month. Here's some marquee games. You flip the switch. It's on Android and iOS. The biggest problem I heard about is the xCloud is that it doesn't work on an Apple, an iPad. Guys, what's going on? You're the one talking this big game. This is the future. This is what Satya believes in. You're all in on cloud and Azure. Sony even, not only they beat you to a punch on how many devices they're on, they're going to use your friggin' service to power their service. Like, just give up. Stop. Like, you're done. You don't want Sony to do what you're doing. You don't want Nintendo to do what you're doing because they already are beating you. And they have things on those consoles that people want to play, no matter where they are. From the looks of it, Gears doesn't look like people want to play it no matter where they are. They don't even want to play it on their friggin' PC. And that's a problem, because the problem is that you gotta keep the console. You know what the core audience wants. You know the kind of games that they like. Those are the games you make, and you make them better than ever. Sony knows what their game is like. Nintendo knows what their core audience wants. So they make the games for that core audience. Then they say, you know what? Yeah, put Mario on a phone. I'll download 6 billion. Yeah, okay, good. Put Mario Kart on a phone. That's a nice option. Get it out there. But they didn't say, you know what? The next Mario game, everybody line up. It's on a phone. Like they did with Diablo. Out of season April Fool's joke. Got everybody all excited to announce a phone game. No, you don't before the new game. No, you satisfy your core audience first. Here's an amazing game. Now here's a phone game. They did it good with the Gears reveal, where they said Gears Pop, and then they said Gears 5. Because if it was just Gears Pop, that would have been bad. I'm fine with that. The problem is that Microsoft as a whole needs to address their core audience first, and then reach out to the casuals. You cannot win the casual game with an empty hand. And that's another thing. Guys Code brings up a good point in the chat. What's up, Guys Code? Yeah, like in the video, share it out. He makes a good point. The Nintendo is more mobile reason why the 3DS is such a success. He's saying that, the Nintendo mobile, the fact that Nintendo is mobile is the thing is that that's the reason why this remote play, and it's something that you want to play on a phone, because Sony and Microsoft are trying to find ways to meet the mobile thing, because Nintendo got them with taking these games on the go. And that's the other thing that Guys Go says. Nintendo and Sony have respect. They have a legacy of games. This is not just like they made one game that everybody liked and now all of a sudden Sony's top dog or Nintendo's top dog. They had years of development and years of games and classics and kind of a history. that Microsoft had but really never embraced. Microsoft should have brought back Conker. They should have brought back Banjo. They should have brought it back in a meaningful way. And like things like Rare Replay were nice. They should have done more like that to really get people back into it and really show effort. Not just dump games into like a backwards compatibility, but actually give them the fandom, update them, show that you really care about your IP. Not farming it out to all the devices that people really don't care about it, but making sure your core knows like valuing that. And that's why I say like Nintendo and Sony have gamers respect. That's why Microsoft gets so much hate and so much distaste, because everybody thinks of bad big Microsoft running the gaming thing, and they're not real. They're not true to the gaming fans. Like, I mean, to the gaming console, like to the core audience. They kind of come off as like, yeah, well, we're a big company that just makes a gaming console, you know, whatever. Like, very kind of just like the big bad Microsoft behind it. And they worked out of that with the 360. That's the thing. They justified themselves with the OG Xbox, the 360. They did that. Just to come full circle and just have Satya just turn it into just this ash. Green ash. Just spread it out everywhere. You know, dilute all your assets. Make all our developers make it for consoles and PCs and Windows Phone and then UWPs and Windows Store and Steam and maybe Epic Store and on Xbox. Just dilute everything. Just make everybody just do everything. And where's your quality control? Do you think Gears 5, with all the glitches and bugs and all that stuff, was that because that they tried putting it on all these devices at once? Who knows? But it's the most glitch. There's progress glitches. Like, these are not just like little like people stuck in a wall like what happened to me. These are like, you're not getting rewards for grinding. You're not getting progress rewards. You're not getting unlocks. Like, I don't know what's going on. It's just unfortunate. But the key of the point is that Sony still sees Microsoft as competition, Xbox, and now they already have them challenged on the clouds right now. PlayStation Now price drop, put some marquee games in there, 800 games, $10 a month, $60 a year, versus $15 a month for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is $180. But that's what it is, right? What's because you got to get the Ultimate, right? Ultimate, because you got to get that Xbox Live in there. And what is that? 15 times 12, 180. You're looking at $180 because you need online and the games, versus, now, yes, you're getting games day and date, but we don't know what those games are. They got studios. Who knows? We got to see. Bleeding Edge, good job. Let's see. But Sony has 800 games. Put in marquee titles in there. They're not, when you buy when Last of Us 2 comes out, I'm not sitting there in February going, well, wait a second. I could play Last of Us 2 for $1 if I sign up to PlayStation Now. Or I could pay $60 for it. Or I could play it on my PC. Or I could play it on Steam. Should I wait for a Steam sale? No. I got to buy a PlayStation and play Last of Us 2. Simple. Done. There's no wondering. When Halo Infinite comes out, you're going to sit there and go, well, okay, well, I could play it on Steam, I could play it on UW, I could play it in Windows 10 Store through Game Pass. Should I subscribe for it? Should I buy it for $60? Should I buy it? Should I buy the new console with the Scarlet? Should I buy should I keep my old Xbox? You got so many options. Do I Game Pass it? Do I pay $60 for it? What do I do? How I buy this thing? Every game that comes out from Microsoft, you have to do the same thing. Comes out with Outer Worlds. Comes out at the end of the month. Do you buy it in Game Pass? Do you buy it on PC? Do you buy it on console? Is it a Play Anywhere game? Do you buy it on Steam? Then you don't do Play Anywhere. But then you get it for Game Pass. It comes out day and date in Game Pass. So why wouldn't you do that? All these decisions. Are these good options? These are confusing options. But none of those options say you got to go to the store and buy a console to play it. And that's the core. That's the option of a core audience. And that's it. It's just, the whole big thing is address your core audience. And the thing is everybody's saying that Sony's doing what Microsoft's doing. Put their games in date. You don't want that. The games that Sony has right now, if they put them in day and date into a service, Xbox is going to be even more irrelevant than what it is. So you should not be begging for that, because if you think to justify your cause that, hey, everybody's streaming, you don't want Sony to stream their games, because with the quality they have now, Xbox will really be off the map. All right? So be careful what you ask for. Oh, Jesus Christ. But, like, you gotta do what you ask for, Like, you gotta be careful. Because if you ask for that, you don't want Nintendo to make it a service where they're like throwing in the new Zelda and the Mario games and Metroid games. No. Because they have the content. You're still trying to make your content. You better hope that Sony stays out of this for as long as possible while you build up your games. I would not be rushing out there saying, I can't wait for Sony to do what Microsoft's doing right now. They're doing it. See, I told you. You better be careful what you wish for, because they will wipe the floor with them with the content that they have right now. So, you should worry about what kind of quality is coming out those studios and if Game Pass is worth it. Because Microsoft doesn't seem to be concerned with that. They can be concerned about where you play, not what you're going to play. And that's always been the problem I have. Phil Spencer's more concerned with getting people to play on phones than even wanting to know, do those people even care to play on a phone? Do those people even care to play this game on PC? Do they care? And we'll never know because they won't show the numbers. But we see from the trends in streaming and all that other stuff of where it is. But with that,
we're really focusing first on what it means to play these games.
There it is.
So we thought about how can we get as many people playing.
And you know who's there. There he is this October.
I'm trying to use the phone!
And with that, guys, thank you very much. This is Jet7780. And we have no time for that. Oh, whoa, what's that? Yep, and we're out of here. I want to thank you, everybody. This is Jet7780. What grinds my gears? I'm back. Share, like the video. Let's get this up. With that engagement, people. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support, man. I'm out.